It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. All that and more coming up next.
Temps a little hot today at Lincoln Financial Field, but keep in mind it is technically still summer as we get you ready for some football in Philly. But straight ahead, we've got a rematch from last year's NFC Divisional Round tilt, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, what a season it was for these Eagles and these Philly fans last year. An 8-0 start, 14-3 final record, 2 blowout wins in the NFC playoffs before coming up a bit short in Super Bowl 57.
And a good thing for Philadelphia as they try and get back to the Super Bowl. Many of the key pieces they had last year are back. Remember, this is the number 3 offense in the league, number 2 defense, and they threw in a heck of an NFL draft. They expect to contend one more time.
Meanwhile, for the Giants, what a turnaround last season in year 1 of the Brian Daboll era, Charles. Yes, they finished behind the Eagles and Cowboys, but they did win 9 games and 1 more for good measure at Minnesota in the wild card round.
Talk about establishing a new base, a new culture, and getting into the playoffs while doing it. So tough to beat this Giants team in the fourth quarter. They expect that to continue.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. On the return, here's Gary Brightwell. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now the NFC's leading rusher a season ago. Here's Saquon Barkley. It's a gain of 35. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
Now Jones, looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Short throw, going to be caught by Waller. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Jones. Got a man, Slayton. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Throwing, Jones. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
15 more there, and they're on a roll It's another first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll try and run forward Barkley. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Another try for Barkley. And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Giants will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback. But last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players, thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23.
On 1st down, Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
A run for the former Seahawk. It's Rashad Penny, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback.
The former first-rounder put it all together in 2022 with career highs across the board and cemented himself as one of the faces of the Giants' defense after an all-pro season.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, Aaron Sipos on to punt for Philadelphia. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
On 1st and 10, Jones. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Another try after the first down sack. Jones looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Pulled in at the 24. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete here.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Penny up the middle. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now a man picked up on draft night this year, DeAndre Swift. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They hand off to their big tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Penny. He juked him. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Everyone's eyes go to him when he nears the end zone, and that includes the coverage. He took away the easy throwing lanes and forced a high throw.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete. Credit the Giants' defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Reed Blankenship. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
The throw over the middle taken in. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try to make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways. I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Hurts throw complete here to his receiver Brown. yards, the final tally.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Second down. Here's Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Rashad Penny, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play. And guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it's finished off by a Rashad Penny touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here's Brightwell to return it, taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now out come the Giants. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Jones. Incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they'll search for that patience here now. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
And fans of Pennies can certainly celebrate seeing that run because after 2021 breakout year, 2022 was cut short by injury. But there's one thing Philadelphia knows how to do. It's run the football. They targeted Penny as a free agent, knowing he could be a lead guy in their offense.
They go play action with Hurts. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Darnay Holmes. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They have 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. They set up the screen to Penny. A beautiful fake. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Penny running right. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Quick slant to Brown. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here's Hurts to throw. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Arnold. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Penny is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal, and that is incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. There he goes, left side, down the left sideline, and finally taken down at the 30-yard line. 94 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Nothing fancy there, a little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Jones. A short one here, secured by the tight end Waller. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on: catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw. Jones. First target, first catch, and a first down. Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Second down, here's Barkley again. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Able to find Waller. That's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Barkley will take this one in. Touchdown, New York. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Gano now to add the extra point. And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays.
And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
Hurts.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw. He's got Smith here. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end got him. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 35. A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Leaves it for Penny. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 5.
Back to throw again. It's caught. Smith. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 12-yard line. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it.
And it's caught.
And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Penny will try to punch it in. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. Touchdown, Eagles!
Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. And you know where I'm
fantasy.
Going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy a lot, but why don't you just play?
I'm not good enough to play in fantasy.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, here's Penny. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now a pass hauled in midfield. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Giants! Darren Waller, 69 yards. And the Giants are an extra point away from capturing the lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Extra point try good by Gano, and that will put them on top here in the third. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The two big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
On 1st down, Hurts. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And he's got it! Touchdown! DeAndre Swift, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have retaken a 3rd-quarter lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And a call from Nick Sirianni. Let's go for 2 here, he says. Now a toss going left. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of set you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And the Giants ready to come out now.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Jones. That ball caught by Slayton. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Now Jones. Throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here.
And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Again, it's Penny. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing is Hurts. Man open left side is Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try the right side here with Penny. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, Penny. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They begin with a run by Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now Jones to throw on 2nd down. And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the first down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Jones on 1st down. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Reed Blankenship delivering the hit.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Short throw going to be caught by Waller.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Now Jones.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at 8 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Back to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Gano's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And Philadelphia's offense ready to go again.
They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the gun, a give to Penny, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. 39 yards there, a big one.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the 1st.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Here's Jones looking to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. Touchdown, Giants! Paris Campbell, a 20-yard touchdown.
And the Giants have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Hurts. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. Inside handoff, Penny. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Well, they'll run it again with Penny. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Wide open is Watkins, he's got it. Touchdown, Eagles! Quez Watkins, a 22-yard touchdown ground. And the Eagles answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead. But plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown on the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that will make this a 4-point game. after the touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. The tackle by Nakobe Dean.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. That ball caught by Campbell. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off, and then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Up the middle with Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he's going to take this close to the 1st down marker as he's stopped at the Eagles' 42. 140 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Jones now on 1st and 10. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Now 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. Jones. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Now Jones. Going right side, he finds Slayton. Gosh, given the time and the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
There we go. The noise deafening. 4th and goal. Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line.
4th down and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise, but how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And this game not quite over yet, and we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
Oh, that is going to be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And taken right on the 30. So now Jones and the Giants down by 2. 1:13 to play. And they need at least 30 yards, you'd have to think, here to move the football to have a shot.
Here's Jones.
Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. To throw is Jones.
Throw left side complete. That's Campbell.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Well, you don't have to beg the Philly faithful to make noise. On their feet for 3rd down.
And he can't get a throw up. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
That's sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you have extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety and they've had no way of blocking them.
So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did, and just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.